Hey guys, this is Anon with another installment of the Heartbreak Series, where we already know the outcome of the battle. It's just about how we get there, and where I basically just put myself through more torture having to look at these games again and cry on the inside. So, I do it because you like it, not because I like it. Anyway, in my T-44 on Castilla, and going to go ahead and cross the river so I can support the mill where most of my team is going, which is fantastic, so they can get spots and I can start to work that direction. I'm in no hurry at this point. I would prefer not to be spotted, but I'm okay with rolling up far enough to get early shots if I need to. Just trying to do some nice damage. Switch to the APCR because of both shell velocity and the side of the T-32 turret is actually pretty strong, and I want to make sure I go ahead and get that first shot in. Dealing first blood is always kind of nice just to give you and your team kind of an instant leg up. So starting to peek around here a little bit because it's kind of tough to know if they're going to be hanging out there in the background or if we've got some coming up to the left where this T-44 pops up and is on our flank. So it's something I need to go ahead and take care of because he has clear shots into the rest of the team. And so I'm just going to do my best to start to work into it, get that blind shot, which is really nice, but I get spotted in the process. And the team is already starting to not do too well because they've gotten a little bit bunched up. And that's okay, it's kind of what happens, but this 44 luckily isn't paying a whole lot of attention to me. And already, because we're down to, I'm a little worried that this is going to turn into a difficult situation later on, so I don't want to take a lot of damage unless I have to. So I'm going to go ahead and work on him, but I'm also kind of upset that he won't pay any attention to me and is just shooting into my teammates. Unfortunately now, because my team isn't doing so well, I start to take shots from that direction, so I have to go ahead and back off because I've taken way more damage than I really want to. And unfortunately I'm going to have to let that 44 go for now and see, probably turn and see, what I can do to help these guys a little bit because stuff's starting to look a little bit on the rough side. So I've got two good heavy tanks up here on top that my team can't do a whole lot of good with, but it'll let me start to hopefully whittle them down a little bit to get the nice shot in the T-32. And I don't have a lot spotted, so I just kind of have to work with what I've got and start to work away on this T-34 so that we can start to hopefully equalize some numbers a little bit. So just being careful and working those shots kind of the best I can. The T-28 turns into kind of an obvious target, but he's going to get me spotted, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful with that as well. But that's a big gun, so if he works his way behind, the team won't be able to hold up too long. But honestly, my team doesn't have a lot of health left anyway, so I'm pretty sure this is a loss, but also pretty sure that this is going to be a 1v situation here at the end. This T-44 shooting me again, and he's just got to be gone because having him on my flank is absolutely terrible, and it's going to create a lot of problems for me no matter what. So I really at this point have no choice but to turn around and deal with him. I probably should have done it earlier, but like I said, I was trying to conserve health and trying to keep as much of my team alive as I could. So I pull back around just in time to get the Type 59, and at least we've gotten it within one now, although unfortunately my teammate is a one-shot. He's calling for help, but it's just not a good situation right now to go steaming in there because they have 3 tanks, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them I haven't even seen yet. So able to get the nice shot on the 34, which is really, really nice, and I've worked my way up into a much better situation, even though we're probably pretty far behind on health because I haven't seen this RU anywhere, and the Emil we haven't seen either. So I'm just kind of looking for shots, trying to be careful when that RU comes screaming in. And there's nothing I could do to go. If I were to chase right now, there's a good chance that Emil's probably perched up to my left, and I would be too much of a sitting duck. So because my teammate unfortunately dies, I have to pull back and try and relocate. That RU is full health, so he's going to be pretty tough to deal with unless I can get into kind of a good situation as far as the terrain. Probably something with a low ridge that'll let me use my turret and keep the hull kind of protected. It's also kind of at this point where I've seen so many of these comments from my team that I realize I'm at 5 kills, so this clutch action has a little bit more kind of weight to it because it would mean a Rossini if I win. So I'm going to go ahead and circle back around. No clue where the RU is at this point. I obviously know where he was last, but I also really would prefer to control that engagement, and I want to be on this backside because it gives me some good spots for it. I'm spotted, so I figure one of them's over here. That's the Emil. So the good news is he's AFK, so I can get rid of him easily. The bad news is this lets the RU know where I am, and it's just kind of up to him whether he wants to play it safe and run the clock out and try and control it, or whether he wants to come at me and brawl, because he is, I'm pretty sure, at full health at this point. The most that IS got into him was 1 hit, so he's got a lot more health than I do. So I'm pulling forward here because I'm hoping to kind of get on top of the mill area so I can shoot down on him if he has to come up, but also get a spot. At this point, I don't want the draw. I'm willing to go for glory here because, you know, the Rossini eyes only happen so often. Since I'm spotted, I assume he's to my right, and so the main concern here is not getting sniped and letting him pick off some damage before I get into some sort of position. I figure he's probably coming at me now, so I'm working for that. He gets spotted behind me, so it was a good call in that department. I switched to HE because, again, he is full health, and charging at me so hard. Unfortunately, that HE shot doesn't go in, and he is able to put the big hit in. I figure he's probably going to be shooting heat, so I'm rolling back, just trying to get myself more shots than he gets in. I'm able to bounce one in there too, but now being downhill, it's a pretty tough spot, and unfortunately there now I know he's going to have me on reload because I can't. My driver's dead, so I can't get an angle. Unfortunately, on that game, that HE shot, I should have just shot AP. The difference in damage was probably the win. And honestly, I think that's the only thing I would change in this battle. I think it was played pretty well. Getting rid of that T-44 earlier in the game might have helped too. But obviously, that's pretty painful one. That's some great damage. So close to the Rossini eye. It's just tough when you get charged like that at the end. There's only so much you can do about it. You try and do the best you can, but when he's got almost double the health you do, all you can do is kind of give it a good shot. So if you like watching my pain and suffering, I'm sure there would be more of these, so follow on YouTube. Be nice because these hurt. And follow on Twitch, which is actually where this battle came from.